Welcome back. Thank you guys for joining the 980s podcast hosted by yours truly, Kevin Thompson, founder and CEO of 9i Capital Group. Thank you guys for joining us. As I always say, subscribe to this channel. As I always say, go and get my book, MLB to CFP, live on Apple and Amazon. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@9icapitalgroup.com. Send us your questions, or you can go to the website at www.9icapitalgroup.com. Schedule an appointment. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, empower, and engage. And we have a special guest for you today, my friends. Today, we're talking to Lazetta Rainey Braxton. She's a financial expert, social entrepreneur, business strategist, board leader, all of these things. And today, we're just going to really get down to the insights. Today, we have insights and inspiration with Lazetta Rainey Braxton. Let's get it. We have Lazetta Rainey Braxton on the call today. And you know what? Your accolades go far and far beyond. I mean, you have so many things you've done. And I want to tell a quick story before we get into the accolades and all the other things. But so my first, introduction to you was I was sitting at home watching TV, and I was watching the Cheddar Network. I don't know why I was watching the Cheddar Network. Don't tell me why. And then I see this beautiful woman come across the screen on the finance channel talking about, your finance and investing and all this other stuff. And I was like, it says Lazetta Rainey Braxton. I'm like, interesting. So I go to your LinkedIn. I'm like, I start seeing all these things. I'm like, wow. I mean, so that was my first invitation and introduction to you. And again, the next one was Sharon Epperson. You're on CNBC doing your thing. So it's been a wonderful privilege to come across you and to see how you're working right now in the industry.
Nice. I appreciate what you are doing and the platform that you're offering to elevate voices. And that is so very important and a commitment. So Kevin, I salute you.
I appreciate that. So we have Lazetta Rainey Braxton. She's a part of everything. She's a founder and CEO of Lazetta & Associates, co-CEO of 2050 Wealth Partners, contributor on wealth management to the Wall Street Journal, CNBC Digital Financial Advisor Council. I can keep going, but that would be the entire podcast. Nobody wants to listen to somebody's accolades, but I'm telling you right now, we're blessed to have you and what you're doing, not only for just for women, but just for the community and what you stand for. This is more powerful than you know, and I appreciate you being on the call today. So thank you. And I want to just, because you talk about a lot of things, like I know you were on the CNBC segments and the Black History Moments last month. Tell us a little bit about your cause in this industry and what that actually is, and what the meaning of your just cause is, and how it's pushing you forward.
My just cause is really personal. As a Black female from a very modest rural Virginia town, I want the wealth that I see other people have, and that is financially, and I'm also adding the abundant mindset too. And as I continue to have conversations like with you, Kevin, and others, we want equitable access. And that's my just cause, because we deserve it. We have made significant contributions to the advancement of the society, and we should get our fair portion of its growth, of its economic growth and sustainability as well too. So I'm grateful that my just cause brings me joy. I love seeing people win. I love it. I love it. I want more of that, and particularly for us.
And that's wonderful you say that, because I was just reading Simon Sinek's book, The Infinite Game, and you're speaking just to that just cause purpose. It's bigger than just profits and business. It's more about the legacy you're leaving, what's going to happen after you're no longer here, who's going to come and take the reins, can they help grow this business and leave it better than when they first came. And you're absolutely right with that. And shout out to my boy Tyrone Ross Jr. real quick, because you mentioned something. You said equity and equality. And he always says it's not about equality, it's about equity. And you're absolutely right about that. It's the equity that we deserve. So I appreciate you saying that.
And I want both. I mean, it's no either or, it's both and.
Yeah.
I want it all. So equity as CFP professionals and financial advice, that means ownership, right?
Yeah.
And equal means to me access to get it. So yes, salute to Tyrone. I appreciate that call out, and I'm adding on to it saying, yes, I want it all.
Yeah. And you mentioned that ownership, and we're going to go off path a little bit here, but ownership. When I first got into the business, it was about working for a company, and you're going to work your butt off. And then, like, whether it's an insurance company or a broker dealer, they get to keep your business because it's their business and all of this. And when you start realizing that it's more than that, because you don't want to work for a company for 10 years and have nothing to show for it. And the direction I'm going now with my RIA, and then what you're providing as well, that's the real ownership piece of this thing, because having the ability to control your business, right? To control your business, to say what you want to say, to be on these calls like this, to have conversations, it's powerful. And I'm assuming when you're talking about equity and equality, that's the direction you're going as well.
I want to leave space for those who do not have the wherewithal, and that is emotionally and financially, to do the entrepreneurial venture. Yeah. It works for me, and obviously it works for you, because you said so well, you articulated so well about the freedom that comes along with branding, culture, and business models that align with who you are and the values that you have and the people that you want to serve. So I'm grateful that I am feeling abundantly free in the two entities that I own. And one of the reasons why I have my own entities is because the places where I work for, they did not honor my human capital. So I hear what you're saying about nothing to show for it from the equity standpoint. I want to also add the lost revenue that comes from the human capital, and meaning you in your engagement with the institution that doesn't respect you at all. That has long-lasting implications that does also show up in your financials as well.
Oh my God, you mentioned that, and I guess we can go right to that point, because that's a lesson learned in the financial industry, right? Like, reflecting on our journey. Like, so what are some of the key lessons or insights you wish you had known when you first entered the financial planning space?
So let me just say, my financial planning space, I stumbled upon it in my 30s.
Okay.
So I got two degrees in finance in my 20s, still trying to figure out how to really work with clients and people like my parents.
Okay.
And so it wasn't until my 30s that I discovered a person who actually had their CFP credential. And I'm like, that is what I want to do. Now, going back to your question about what I wish I had known, is just how addicted the industry is on AUM.
Okay.
And why I say that addiction, because it's easy money.
Okay.
You build a portfolio, you say, you just line up a lot of people, and you meet with, your clients once a year, and you're good. If you're doing true financial planning, which requires more human capital, right? More investment input. It's hard to scale, right? Unless you have tech players who are helping you scale. But then the question is, how much are you going to really eke out in profits? And AUM is extremely seductive, and it also leaves out a lot of segments that are important to me.
So I'm glad you brought up the AUM, because it's a battle, right? It's an industry battle. It's a battle with fiduciaries versus non-fiduciaries. It's a battle of AUM fee-based advisors versus non-fee-based advisors. So we're always fighting for this. So
okay, and so I'm not fighting. I'm stating the fact that it's fact. It's an easy model. So we cannot deny AUM. It's not not a scalable, easy way to get money. And my formula includes AUM. So I'm definitely saying that.
Yeah. And I'm not
also saying, right,
go ahead.
for AUM is if you're focusing just on investments, right, you could charge on AUM and still provide financial planning. But if you're saying you're a financial planner and you're only really focusing on investments, are you really a fiduciary financial planner, or are you just an asset manager?
Yeah.
Right? So I just want us to be abundantly clear. It's not on the model necessarily. It's the service that's being provided and the access to that service. If you identify as a certified financial planner who offers financial planning and not just investment management.
1,000%, because we won a couple of cases over that currently. We know the guy who says, and again, I'm not going to name any name. I never name names on my podcast. So just
let's not do that.
Yeah. I never name names, but there's a
John Doe.
Yeah.
But make sure it's male.
Yeah. So there's an investment manager out there that's all over the team, all over the screens that says, we are your fiduciary and we don't believe in annuities and all stuff. And again, I'm not saying believe in them or not believe in them, but they're just an investment manager. They're just an investment manager, and we won business over because we are doing true financial planning in regards to estate planning, taxes, all the other stuff. So you're absolutely right on that. There's a huge difference, but you know what? It's like the sirens in the book where we're talking about you're on your ship and that you start hearing that AUM and it gets seductive and you want to go overboard.
You know? and I honor. I mean, I don't have the time to really dig deep in, building portfolios that asset investment managers do, like the portfolio construction that they're spending time on and making it more active. I'm an index person and also like private placements in terms of other businesses. That's the model that I chose to do. We chose to do. Mm-hmm. I just want people to be true so that the consumers are not confused. And they know what their options are and what they prefer. Not everybody wants a financial planner. They are do-it-yourselfers, figure it out, and they just want investment management. But can we be clear for our clients? Can we be clear for the public?
Absolutely. Be clear, because there's 35,000 different types of financial advisors. Well, I do insurance. Well, I do this. I do that. No, we got to get that clear, because a guy who says they're just a financial planner, but they ultimately just do investments, or a guy that says they're a financial planner, but they're doing insurance and annuities. It needs to be some clarity in that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So
it's all about the love.
All about the love, because everybody can grow together. The ocean's big. Everybody can grow together.
It is.
So Tara, I know we talk about the good things. You've done so much in this business. And again, I appreciate your time and the love and the support. Share with me some significant challenges or setbacks you've encountered in your career and how you navigated through them.
Setbacks. So one, I alluded to a firm that didn't honor my humanity.
Yeah.
In the human capital. It was a prospective client for which I worked on the proposal. Mm-hmm. And the client used the N-word just in terms of general reference.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. Are there any around, generally speaking? And so I'm glad that the partners came back to the office like, this may be a problem.
Yeah.
And then they decided to continue to work with or bring on that prospective client. No legal ramifications, because the prospective client said that at his home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hello, what about the values? I help cure that business. And so that was that.
Yeah.
That was the last straw for me. Black female in financial services. And that's why I launched my own firm, Financial Fountains, at the time, which has evolved to 2050 Wealth Partners. That was tough. And because of that experience, I didn't want any other Black advisor to go through that, and or if they did, to be able to rebound from that. So I took several volunteer mm-hmm. positions across a lot of trade associations and financial services, serving on all their DEI, everything. Councils, really took a deep dive too in association focused on Black advisors as well.
Yeah.
7 to 10 years of volunteer work and being voiced at the table of saying, how are we going to galvanize around diversity, inclusion, equity, and belong in the industry so that we elevate more voices than the majority white male voices and business models?
Well, you and I, so there's two black CFPs on this call right now. So what's that? 1% of the entire, I don't know the number. I think we're at 1,900.
Yeah, it's 1.9% of almost 100,000 CFPs in terms of, yes, black.
So
identified.
I look at it and say, you know what? We're going in the right direction. But then I also look at it and say, we got a lot of room to cover, a lot of ground to catch up. So, but we're growing, right? We're growing, which is good.
In numbers, we're absolutely growing. In percentages, it's still around the same. And my hope for us as we continue to honor, because we all are so proud of our designation. It was hard as
hard test.
We're honest.
Yeah.
Right, but we got it.
Yeah.
Right? And I got mine on my wall. I want everybody to see.
Exactly.
And every opportunity available. Yes, all of my degrees of work, because we have to be so on top of our game to even be halfway considered for our counterparts who may not even have the same depth of exposure to a variety of clientele. And that's the thing that I know confidently for all of my fellow colleagues, Black CFPs, is that we are beyond excellent because we understand our own culture, right? For many, which outside of our campus do not, plus theirs.
Yeah.
It's like we are super equipped to handle a variety of client cases with excellence, passion, and determination because we've had to live it.
So you got so much stuff going on. And again, this is the 980s podcast with Lazetta Rainey Braxton. She is a wonderful, beautiful woman that's just providing so much context and depth today. And I don't see, how do you balance your professional life with your personal life? Like, you have so much stuff going. Like, how do you handle that?
I have learned, so I'm a Gen Xer, so I've had a lot of practice.
Hey, latchkey kids, you put the latch on, get the key, you go home.
Lots of practice, right? So that means I, started learning that at about 8 or 9.
Yes.
Right?
I'm right there with you.
Yep. And then I married at 23, so I got almost 3 decades in. That's why I said a practice, and a daughter that is now 18, almost 19 at Yale University. Go ahead, girl. Ivy girl.
Oh my God,
and
that's incredible.
So, and I say that earnestly because my husband is very actively engaged in his career as well. So we have moved quite a bit, a lot of different opportunities that have been available to us. And there were just stretch periods that were super stretched. I mean, absolutely super, super, super stretched.
Yeah.
And I say that because as working with clients, we see that as well. And we're trying to help our clients find and hold space for themselves. I use an acronym REST, releasing expectations, savoring time. And that's what money should allow you to do is rest, release some expectations and savor time. And I've made that a priority in my life. And what does that mean? Divesting. And I did. It was a hard run of those 7 to 10 years. And volunteering, a stretch. I was raising my daughter at the same time. We were moving a lot. Would I necessarily recommend for people to take on the amount of things that I did? Absolutely not. And I have no regrets. Okay. Right? I learned a lot of lessons. It's still yielding dividends. And I have decided that no is a really great word. And no is also the first 2 letters of nonsense. And I also had too much nonsense that a lot of people allow to happen in their lives, which are energy leaks, which also contributes to the lack of balance between life and work. So I've streamlined. I've treated myself. And when you're like that, then you're around energy that aligns with you and it doesn't feel as hard and heavy. And then I also bought my freedom as an entrepreneur.
Okay. So you're reminding me of a book I'm reading right now called Essentialism by Greg
Oh,
McKeon. That's what it sounds like. I'm reading a book right now
okay.
about that, saying no, saying because you find the essential thing and you go all
Yeah.
into it and leave everything else, behind because now you're going to be the jack of all trades and the master of none, which a lot of us in the previous business I was at, it was everything was a shiny object. Oh,
Yes.
let's try this. And next thing you know, you're still in the same place. So you're
And it's
absolutely
on
right.
the hamster wheel. So turn the hamster wheel right into an actual circle and then walking path, right?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
visual that I have. And anything that feels like a hamster wheel, like paying attention to that. And I guess I would just say for those who are watching and listening, be true to what your body is telling you and
Mm-hmm.
not suppress the signals to say, hey, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't make it make sense.
So so I got a couple more questions for you and I'll let you go
Okay.
because I know you're a very busy person and I appreciate your time today, by the way. Thank you so much. But
Appreciate you.
real quick, how important is mentorship? 'Cause I want to tell the young advisors this. How important is mentorship in the game of finance and finding your way?
Mentorship is allows you not to recreate the wheel
Yeah.
and experience the same setbacks and traumas that those ahead of you have experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely critical. I am so fortunate that my first job was with Marriott International as an internal auditor. I worked there as an intern before my fourth year, graduated and accepted with them. And I had 4 or 5 other Black mentors in a high profile job
Yeah.
starting out. That gave me the confidence and the support and to really see what was possible. And they were also sponsors. They helped put me on assignments like the Ritz-Carlton merger,
Yeah.
right? Early on, and I'm 21, 22 years old.
Yeah.
That's real. And what I also want to say for those who are seeking mentors, like you said, Kevin, I appreciate your time. And I'm saying I appreciate your platform, right? Knowing a lot of work goes into what you do. And for
Absolutely.
those who are seeking mentors, be so gracious in understanding where they are, right? Study them as you can so that your engagement is fruitful and honors the currency of time.
Yeah.
Honors the currency of time. And then also realizing for those who you are engaging mentorship relationships with that you have something to offer as well too. So as you're entering a mentorship, think about it as a partnership, right? For things about you that can really help the mentor. And I've experienced so many wonderful insights for
Mm-hmm.
those who have reached out to me. And I really don't like mentor because it's a hierarchy thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, I do the friend tour thing, right? And that's why I'll say it, just kind of come at it with a line energy, knowing that you'll get something, but you also have something to give as well too.
I'm a big powerful mentor mentee type relationship. Like I think giving back is crucial because um a special lady helped me out in moving my company from just away to an RIA, opening up my RIA, and Helen Stevens, Aspen Wealth Management. She's down here in Fort Worth, Texas. But again, yeah, she did a phenomenal job, and I appreciate her. I appreciate anybody that wants to help someone achieve grand success, and more power to them. And I'm here for you guys as well. So just FYI, if you guys have any questions, please feel free. Last question, and we're
Yeah.
gonna let Lazetta go because she probably has a CNBC something she's gonna do in the day. We just talked about mentorship. What advice would you give for some aspiring financial planners?
Stay true to the vision that you have for yourself and don't let anybody co-opt it.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say with that vision, be wise in nurturing it by finding the right sponsors and mentorships as well. Be engaged with people who really don't honor it from a distance because they have something to teach you and help you reinforce why your vision is so important. And know the industry, the profession, we need you. We need you. So keep that in mind. you're needed, you're wanted, you're celebrated, and there are communities that will make sure that you are supported.
Lazetta Rainey Braxton, MBA, CFP, all these accolades. Thank you for joining the 980s podcast today.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm so honored and grateful to journey with you.
Thank you. That was Lazetta Rainey Braxton on the 980s podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. As I always say, subscribe to the channel. As I always say, go and get my book, MLB to CFP, live on Apple and Amazon. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@9icapitalgroup.com. Send us your questions, or you can go to the website at www.9icapitalgroup.com. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, empower, and engage. And we had insights from Lazetta Rainey Braxton today. Wonderful, wonderful person, beautiful individual. She has foundation, principles, a well-rounded citizen, and I applaud everything she's done. I am looking forward to her continued success. Thank you for joining us on this 980s podcast today. Stay humble, stay safe. I'll see you again soon.